This is a video about Overwatch dose made by Activision China.
And there we go.
I got it. What the fuck?
Overwatch 2 is the same game, with a lot of substantial changes to it. Instead of 6v6 bullshit running double shields, you are now subject to 5v5 with only one tank, which is also kinda bullshit. There are 3 new characters that came out with Overwatch 2, which are Sojourn, Junker Queen, and Kiriko, who is fucking adorable. Different roles now have different passive abilities. DPS get kill buffs, tanks can now withstand the beating of a deep south dad, and supports gain passive healing. There are actually a large amount of changes in Overwatch 2 that I really don't want to list, so go try that shit yourself, if you can wait. But the most important part is that Bastion has a hat. Already, the vast amount of changes in this game actually don't make me want to exterminate my cerebral cortex out of existence. Instead, it makes me want to pull out my oculars out of my fucking skull. Nonetheless, Overwatch 2 is still Overwatch, but it's different, which I think is what the developers hope to achieve, especially since the dumpster fire that is the people of Sweden. It's a step in the right direction, removing the majority of stuns and other forms of crowd control from damaged characters, because I can finally not get a brain aneurysm. It still feels like the good old clusterfuck that makes Overwatch unique.
Oh shit. Why are they on my asshole? Like, you guys see this shit? Why is this diva on this Korean bitch? I'm killing her.
Yo, this is ass. Yo, you were thinking it too, right?
The new characters feel like great additions to Overwatch. Sojourn is just a higher risk, high reward soldier, Junker Queen is a balls to the walls tank, and Kiriko is an all-purpose support. None of them lose out on the design charm that makes Overwatch characters likable in the first place either. Many old Overwatch dogs, such as me, have expressed a lot of complaints about the game, such as broken promises introducing the PvE, which was the major selling point of Overwatch 2 when they announced it, service with a lifespan of a Chinese government, and dodgy hit registration built by an indie dev company. Look guys, yeah, I said the funny thing, woohoo! But to be honest, these issues should eventually resolve as more updates hopefully come out. Don't get me wrong, I hate Blizzard with a passion. The fact that they didn't resolve so many of the issues back in Overwatch 1 really said something about how shitty the company was. Hell, the lack of a PvE mode after going into hiding for so long was also scummy of them to show, only to not fucking release it. However, despite this, Overwatch 2 is still a great game to play non-competitively. The ranking system is awful, let's just get that out of the way real quick. Before I stopped playing Overwatch, I ranked high masters, low grandmasters, and DPS, and now I placed fucking plat 5. My friend who was lower rank placed plat 2 in support. I might just be shit though. You also have to win 7 games or lose 20 in order to see your rank change. You can't even see your progress during this time. Each time you play a game, you wonder if your MR gets fucking gutted or you're left a blue ball because you're 1 SR away from GM. But nonetheless, it is understandable why Overwatch 2 is seen as a pretty ass game, but I believe this stems out of Blizzard's terrible reputation. It's almost inevitable that Blizzard employees are still harassing their employees instead of fixing their servers on release. Or maybe it's similar to Valve where they have a total of 2 men in a truck working on the game. But from a pure game perspective, it is not as bad as people say. At its core, you can still play Overwatch and maybe enjoy the game. It's always been that way for the average player. In a competitive level though, it's comparable to Cyberpunk on release date. This gets me to the biggest problems I have with it. I already stated that I dislike the competitive system, but tell me a game with a good competitive system to begin with. Tanks and healers are also very annoying to deal with. I'm watching 2 titans fight each other while my damage feels like I'm shooting Nerf darts at Godzilla. The hit registration is also a bit goofy as Kiriko's hands can block headshots and sometimes just not register headshots at all. Wish that worked while I was on the streets of New York City. But as that guy on Twitter said, it was a skill issue. In the end, Overwatch has been a huge part of my gaming experience, so it's nice to see it get the refresh that it lacked for so long. While I don't see it becoming as big enough as it was on its original release, the shaky launch proves that people are still willing to play it even after the content drought in Overwatch 1. I never mentioned the cosmetics in this game because honestly they're pretty fucking shit and the system for buying them is also extremely unintuitive. They took the Valorant approach and only released certain skins in certain periods, which is arguably a worse mechanic than loot boxes because you can at least work towards loot boxes without having to pay for it. The Fortnite Battle Pass is okay, I guess, but it's not something worth working towards, especially in a game like Overwatch. You get XP faster than this guy coming, so it isn't the worst. Only time will tell if the game will prove that the developers can fix the scraps of Overwatch 1 or just another extension of broken design. Now, to wrap things up, you know the drill.
Oh, my turn.